Good morning everybody, and welcome to this work program session about ICT23, about the EU-Taiwan research collaboration in 5G. My name is Pertti Aujanen from the European Commission. I'm from the Future Connectivity Systems, and I'm handling and responsible for this call, so to say, from our unit. So I will present this call, which is the second call which we have with Taiwan. It's a so-called targeted opening call. So we have financing from the EU and we have financing from Taiwan side. But this is in the context of the Horizon 2020 program, so we are following our system. Indeed, this call will have a closing date in 15th of January next year, 2019. So we are very advanced in this stage. Already last year in the Budapest Information Day, when we presented the work program for 2018-19, we presented this call. So because we have, it's a little bit, timing has a little bit been unfortunate, so to say, between the information days, this information days today in Vienna and also 1 year. So indeed, the proposals should be well advanced at this stage. We hope that there are proposals in the making, new proposals. Still, there is theoretical time. Indeed, what still can be done is that to add partners to the proposals that are in the making. And indeed, if there are interesting partners here today, so they can contact me or contact on the Taiwanese side. They will also make a presentation later on here, and we can try to make a contact to the proposals in the making. From this, because we have this Taiwan side, and we have the eligibility criteria, which I will show later on, that the Taiwan has to check the funding agency for Taiwan, so we know how many proposals there are in the making from the Taiwan side. Normally from the Commission side, we wait until the closing date, so to say, but here we can have a little bit advanced. We can see how many are in the making. Okay, so let's go through this, and I will now present the call, and as we are a little bit late, but if there are some interested, we have to do it in the formal way, so to say. The context now, we are talking this Taiwan cooperation is in the 5GPP. We have the public-private partnership from the EU side, which we started in 2014 and go all the way until the end of the Horizon Europe program, so 7 years. And we are in the international context when we are talking about 5G, when we are developing 5G, so it's important with the standardization aspect, pre-standardization in the beginning. Now we are getting advanced in the standardization phase as well. The spectrum aspects for 5G, we have new spectrum coming up in the mmWave especially. So these aspects need to be harmonized internationally, of course, for we get a global system. So we want to promote the EU vision, what we think in the EU, but also look into other regions, of course. And Taiwan has also a 5G program, an advanced 5G program, so this is indeed important for us to cooperate. The standardization, we are looking, as mentioned, they are going, the 3GPP is doing the formal standardization together with ITU. We are going to release 16, which will be next year, coming next year, which have the full 5G specification, or also the millimeter wave and new radio aspects, so to say, and also the core network. So this next year will be the full 5G specification. So we are working towards those goals. And and I mentioned already, this is specific for Taiwan. And here you can see the roadmap that maybe a lot of you have seen before for the 5GPP, and we are in the phase 3 now. We are already, as you can see on the top, we are already looking for the long-term evolution of 5G, because the early specification, early technologies are there, but we need to improve the technologies, and also 5G will not stop the development in network technology in 5G, and there will be maybe a 6G and so on, but we are still already looking at the long-term evolution of 5G. And this will be a new call coming up next year. But ICT23, the Taiwan call, is in the trial phase, as we say. As you see, ICT2018, which is the big call on the EU side, is closed in November this year, and we will have with the projects we start next year. So we will do evaluation in January, end of January next year. And so there will be EU trials, on vertical sides, but then also ICT2018 now will look at together with Taiwan on trials that we from the Taiwan side, and especially for us, we're interested in looking at the test beds in Taiwan. So yeah, we are in the phase 3. We are getting advanced, and hopefully 5G will be rolled out in 2020 on large scale. So to say, this is the goal for, I think, in all regions now. So what are we looking for? As I mentioned in this specific call, we are looking at the 5G technology to verify those technologies, 5G technologies which we have developed so far, especially in vertical sectors. And we have already in the first call, we have in the Industry 4.0, which is indeed an important area for Taiwan as well as for Europe. So now we can also expand it to other areas if there is a common. Let's see what kind of proposal we get. But e-health and drones and utilities and healthcare, so to say, many areas are possible. And indeed, when we look at this, we have to look at the complementarity, so to say. Hopefully there will be a complementarity to those in ICT2018, the European part of the work program of the trials, and this trial in Taiwan, so we have a complementarity. That would be great if there will be additional aspects coming from this Taiwan 5G field trials. So we're looking to look at assess the technologies that are there, end-to-end connectivity. Now we are not looking for specific components. We're looking for 5G systems. Support of mmWave, which is one of the key factors of 5G, as well with the slicing part, the virtualization part, which is already developed in the first in the first core project with Taiwan, 5G Cora, which is looking more for the virtualization and the edge technologies. And go further into that and go further into the virtualization, the mmWaves and the radio interfaces. Look at the 5G technology architecture as they defined in the standards, and try to look at have complementarity to our 5GPP program, but also look into the Taiwan 5G program. So we want to validate technologies, leverage cooperation between Taiwan and key aspects, and try to find where the real focus are, and try to have a win-win situation for us. And as I mentioned already, the standardization is ongoing there, so we try to accelerate and try to feed into this process and in the 5GPP context, and also in the global context. All the areas we are enhanced mobile broadband, which has been really the first phase of 5G, but now we look into the machine type of communication, massive machine type of communication in IoT devices, and the reliability, the latency aspect. And these are aspects which are now in the second phase of the 5G developments. And I think this is also in the core of the discussion we have with 5G with Taiwan. We have 4 million set aside for this from the European side, and then we will have the matching, so say from Taiwan. And we propose that there are around 2 million each proposal from your side. That means 2 projects will be accepted in the end. This is our expectation. Evaluation criteria, we have said it, this is in the context of the Horizon 2020, but we said we need to be balanced approach in the proposals, at least 2 quarters from the Taiwan side. And indeed, we would like to push also the industrial part in the program, so to say, that because very much we have an industry-led program, so to say. So we would like also to get the industrial participation from both sides, when the EU and Japan, or not Japan, Taiwan is balanced, so to say. And the last criteria I mentioned already in the beginning, indeed, from the time we also make sure that these proposals are eligible from the Taiwan funding agency, And also one aspect which is important here is the eligibility, financial viability, and legal viability which we normally make in the EU proposals. When you said in the proposal, we check every partner, every organization that everything is legally fine, financially fine. But in the first call of Taiwan, we had to do it in exactly the same way for the Taiwanese partners as well. Now in the second part, we are more relaxed eligibility criteria for the third countries. So from Taiwan side, we trust the Taiwanese authorities make this eligibility check, and then they can be part of our program, so to say. So this is a change between the first and second caller that is concerning Taiwan. Yeah, is this new? I think this is a program presentation that we show for our member state as well. Indeed, as I mentioned already, it is a follow-up on the first call, and indeed, we would like to see, it's not a disadvantage to build upon what we have started in the first call, in the second call, so we can follow up on that. But there are other areas, and we have only two projects ongoing, so if you look at the vertical sector, there are many vertical sectors in 5G, of course, so if you can expand to other sectors, is not either a disadvantage. So, yeah, and if you have, of course, we said we are late in the process. I think you know about the call, but if still there are issues that you would like to see, this is more information. And you can ask questions now, today as well. And I think before we can open the floor to everybody, if you have any certain specific question of the presentation, you can do it now, but we can also listen from the Taiwan side first, and then we can open the floor for questions. Thank you, at this day. Any specific question, or then we can present from the Taiwan side, or who will do the presentation there? You.
Actually, I'm the next presenter.
Yeah, but I think you can do the presentation now, and then we can take questions.
Okay, thank you.
So please come forward. Then we take all the questions afterwards. Yeah.
Hi, thank you for this introduction on EU-Taiwan call. Now I will, on behalf of our Ministry of Economic Affairs, to present some ideas of from Taiwan side. Well, first of all, I would like to introduce a little bit, our Taiwan's excellency performance in the world. As you see here, the overall performance of Taiwan, which is ranked pretty high in the world, especially in innovation sectors. And Taiwan has evaluated from in the past the labor incentive industry. Now we are moving to the innovation-driven industries. And there are a lot of ICT products ranked #1 in the world, including the PCs, servers, and some IC foundries industry. And we also established very complete clusters in Taiwan from the north to the south. Now, we have the software park and the high-tech part in the north, and the precise machinery and some like iron and the steel industry in the central and the southern Taiwan. And of course, our government, they make a very complete policy to support the new industry, such as the smart machinery, defense industry, and the biotech, and the green energy. And of course, ICT will be the key enabler to realize the policy to build up a more smarter country. And we have also a very complete the incentive from the government, our Ministry of Economic Affairs will support the partners, the EU-Taiwan project partners of the research institute and the industry, and our Minister of Science and Technology, they will support to the academia side. So if you are interested in the EU-Taiwan cause, you can have your Taiwan partner to support the funding from us. And the incentive scheme from the Ministry of Economic Affairs side, we have an A+ program. They will support for the industry. Especially, we have a EU-Taiwan TOC fast track. If you have a Taiwanese partner, you can ask them to come to us. We have a fast track program. If they have your project has been granted from our commission, then he can quickly apply the funding from the government. And moreover, our Taiwan, our Ministry of Economic Affairs, we have support and sponsor those very different domains research institute, such as E3 and III. They already have 2 projects ongoing from the first phase, as Pratik mentioned, and we have also some other domains research institute. So if you are looking for some other partners, you can come to us. We can just connect you together. And then now, in Taiwan, we have a very full 5G program. Now we are developing the end-to-end products and technology, and also we have set up different trial sites to prove our technologies. And as Pratik mentioned, now we already have first 2 cooperation is still ongoing. Now we are moving to the phase 3, which will be closed on January 15th. And our government will do the eligible checking to make sure all the project's scope is fit on our project. So if you are going to propose a new project, please have your Taiwanese partners come to us. Then we will have a list to make sure every project is eligible. And also we have a good meeting with DigiConnect yesterday, and we probably will have a new phase of cooperation. The topic will not only limited on 5G, B5G, probably will have a quantum technology or some other topics. We wish to extend the cooperation with Europe, EU. And I won't go to the detail of the ongoing 2 projects. Actually, they are doing the project review today and tomorrow. And the 2 projects will finish by the end of next year. Now there are 4 projects already come to us. The scope, because you still have some competitive sensitivity, so we won't go to the detail. But the vertical they choose is including the factory and the V2X and some other domains. If you are interested, we can connect you together. And for more information, please come to our 5G office. We are under the supervisor of economic affairs. Thank you. Any questions? Okay.
We understand there was also one presentation from one of the participants here in the room, given at the website, yes. So maybe we take that presentation as well, and then we collect
Yeah,
it.
sure.
Yeah, so.
Okay. My name is Ricardo Preto. I'm from Portuguese SME, UbiWare, and we are pretty much interested in participating in proposals addressing this topic. Our main areas are telecommunications and smart cities. And in what regards smart cities, we have already some in what regards telecommunications, we have already some products addressing this 5G ecosystem. Our main product in this area is Smart Lamppost. Basically, this product will enable neutral hosting, multi-access edge computing. So basically, it will be both a user of 5G and an enabler of 5G technology. Despite this product having born only in the last year, we have already a product not on the shelf, but pretty much ready to start being installed, and we, in fact, already showcased it in the Smart City Expo 2018. Also on 5G, we are really active on the V2X topic. We also have a product exploring this technology, again, both being a user of the technology as well as an enabler of this kind of deployments. Again, a product that only was born recently, but we also have a product ready to start being installed and to be, for instance, used in one of the trials within this call. Of course, we also have a lot of partners from which we are collaborating either on H2020 proposals, but also on commercial products. Our main idea and our main goal is always to use what we research in our commercial products. Also, one of the big names there, Etsy, we are in fact collaborating with Etsy to develop the testing framework for Mac technologies. So again, we are users of these technologies, but we are also integrators, and we also help specify the standards that in the end will impact the products that go out there. In this call, we have both, again, the expertise to be integrators, to be developers, but also to provide the use cases that in the end will allow to showcase this kind of technologies. Neutral hosting is directly in our Smart Lamppost product, so we are pretty much interested in that technology, or further developing this concept. Industry 4.0, we have a considerable set of companies in Portugal which are interested in participating in this kind of calls. So again, we can also help and provide use cases in this area. Smart City is one of UbiWare's core areas. I will not go into details on that sector, but you can talk with me if you are interested in that. And CCAM, again, in the context of Unicall products, we are developing this and exploring this technology sector. So we also are interested in further developing or collaborating proposals that address this topic. We can bring our products into projects, and one of our exploitable results will always, in the end, try to onboard the developed technology in our commercial products. In what regards tools and frameworks, we are basically using in our research projects that we are collaborating the main stack that the community is using. Again, both from a user perspective, but also from a deployer or extender perspective. We have a lot of running calls from both phase 1 and phase 2 of 5G PPP, as well as H2020 Smart Cities proposals. And that's it. Thank you for these 5 minutes. Any doubts, any more information, do talk with me.
Thank you, thank you. And, so we have one interested partner still. It would be, I think they take note of that from the Taiwan side as well. So, any other presentations who would like to make an intervention from any participant? Otherwise, questions, remarks for both sides, for EU-Taiwan here? Everything is clear. Indeed, we are very late in the process, so I think it should be very advanced at this stage, and hopefully we have seen the call in good time. As I mentioned, the first information days was already Budapest 1 year ago, and this second formal information day that we have from the Commission side is now, so it's a little bit timing-wise, we were a little bit not perfect, of course, in this time. Please, yes. We have a microphone as well, sir. Yes, we can make it. There is a website, so we can put it on the website. Yeah. And we can put it on the website because it's on the ICT2018. Because for the Portuguese presentation, Univer, they are there. UBWare. Yeah. So you can click on that and get them. I think they are already uploaded, so to say. Okay, you know them. Okay, very good. And I think the Commission presentation, indeed, from the Taiwan side, I think these are not available. Everything clear? One question.
In your PowerPoint, you mentioned the phase 2 cooperation deadline is January 15 of next year, and all this project will be completed the end of next year. What's the difference?
This call will close January 15, and the project will start like June, July next year. But the reference, I didn't understand the reference to what is finishing. Yeah, the ongoing. Next year, yes, 2019. So, yeah, the projects were ongoing, who started 1 year ago. They are finished end of next year, let's say. But the new starts in the middle of next year, so let's say. We have 2 sets of projects. Call 1, call 2. So we should not, in a way, we are not talking about call 1 projects here, so to say. We are calling on the future, so to say, for the second call.
So there will be 2 projects funded eventually under the call, or even more, maybe.
Hopefully, maximum 2. Maximum.
Yes. So is there any specific thoughts behind it, as in they should be focusing on different? They have different focus, or
no? They should cover the work program text, so to say. So, and we will, then we will check.
They should all
best.
cover all the points. Okay.
They don't have the required to cover everything, so to say, but be in as much as in scope as possible, and they have to be as from Taiwan side, they will check that they are in the scope of the work program, so to say, and this is what we will also check. But they don't need to cover every detailed point, so to say. But still, the main points should be there, of course. The main task we are asking for, or the main scope. Okay, otherwise, one latecomer maybe have a question, but we are not at the moment. We are closing this. We have not so many, not time, a lot of time. Otherwise, this is 9:30, but we should go to 9:44 maximum. But if there are no questions, I think we can close.
So maybe I have a question.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah, actually, I was in the queue down there,
Okay.
trying to admit the meeting. But I have the question. Maybe you already discussed it a lot. Like, if are there any like open opportunities for this next coming call? Such a basic question I have. Or if this is too generic, to whom to approach to identify opportunities, maybe.
No, but indeed, this is what you mentioned before, and I understand there was a big queue down there, so this it's sorry that about that. But indeed, we are very close to the closing the 15th of January, so but still the proposal should be well advanced. Still there time to make a proposal, but I think we are very late. But partners can still be included, I assume, into the proposals that are, if there are some missing partners still for specific competencies. And you can, my name is Peter Jaunen, and you can contact me, or you can contact the Taiwanese contact point. We had a presentation here already, and they mentioned the same, that you can take contact with them, and we will put the slides on the website so you can still see the contact points, so to say. And then you can take contact with especially with the Taiwanese side, then look at there, and also for me. So. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And there was also a presentation for one partner, yes, sitting in front of you, presented their company, so to say. So still, this is still possible, even if the time is short now. So.
But I suppose there's also a possibility to go to the Taiwanese stand in the international village.
This we forgot, yes. It's a stand in the booth in the international village, just on this floor, where there the contact person can also be reached, so to say. So I think this is an excellent remark, because then you don't have to look at the website. You can directly talk about it, and I think there are always people, and they can direct the right person, the right area. Good. Thank you. We close that.